Hey guys, today's video is going to be Transformations Part 2. In Transformations Part 1, we've learned rotations and translations. In Part 2, we're going to learn reflections and dilations. So let's get started. So first up is reflections. Reflection is when an object is flipped to create a mirror or a congruent image. Okay, so as you can see, based on this beautiful diagram, pre-image ABCD has been reflected across the y-axis, which is over like this. So this would be flipping across the y-axis. Okay, I apologize for the bad handwriting. And this is when you flip across the y-axis. This would be flipping across the x-axis. Okay, so as you can notice here, pre-image ABCD is congruent to both of the reflections. It's just flipped. That's all it is. So let's move on to some problems. Okay, it says reflect the figure across the x-axis. And reflecting a figure across the x-axis would be this way. Okay, so we're going to be using a rule. There's like a rule to flip or reflect a figure across the x-axis. And here is the rule. So using this rule, we're going to be flipping this figure across the x-axis. Okay, so first, pre-image point A is 6, 8, 6, 8, right? And then arrow. Okay, and then that becomes point A prime, 6, negative 8. Okay? So I am using the rule, x, y becomes x, negative y. Okay. Now moving on to point B. Point B is 4, 3. And then that becomes B prime 4, negative 3. Okay, and then last point, C. Okay. Last point, C, is 8, 3, which then becomes C prime point 8, negative 3. Okay, so those are our points. Now let's graph it. So that's going to be, okay, I'm going to pick a color. Okay. Okay, so A prime is 6, negative 8, which would be over here. Okay, B prime is 4, negative 3, over here. C prime is 8, negative 3, which is over here. Okay, so this is A prime. This is B prime. Ooh, okay. And then this is C prime. Again, I apologize for the bad handwriting. Okay. Using the ruler, I'm gonna connect the lines. Okay. Okay. This is taking a lot of time. Okay. I'll fast forward this part. Okay. Okay. So now after I graphed it, this is what it looks like. So pre-image ABC reflects into image ABC. Okay. So that was one problem. Second is reflect the figure across the y-axis. So this is the same image. It's just across the y-axis instead of the x-axis. Okay. So there is a rule for this too. Reflect the figure across the y-axis. So it's almost the same as flipping the rule to flip a figure across the x-axis, but the only difference is that it's going to be negative x comma y, and that's our rule. Okay, so using this rule, let's flip this figure across the y-axis. Okay, so point A is 6 comma 8, and then A prime is going to become negative 6 comma 8. Okay, point B is going to be 4 comma 3, and then B prime would be 4, okay, negative 4 comma 3. Okay. And then last point, C, is going to be 8 comma 3, which becomes C prime negative 8 comma 3. Okay, now let's plot those points, sorry. Okay, A prime is negative 6 comma 8, which would be over here. Yeah, over here. B prime is negative 4 comma 3, over here. Okay, so this is B prime, this is A prime, and then C prime is negative 8 comma 3, so over here. This is C prime. Okay, I'm gonna do my best. Okay, and then I'm gonna just freehand this. So okay, so not this. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, I'm just using the board. Okay, okay, so that's what it turns out like. Okay, and then reflect the figure across the x equals 2 line. Okay, so this is kind of new. Basically, x equals 2. So we look on the x-axis, right? So x-axis equals 2. So x equals 2 over here, this point right there. Okay, so I'm just gonna plot that here so you guys know. Okay. Okay. There we go. And okay, so this is a line, or x equals 2 line, and then he wants to flip the same figure across this line. So this one doesn't really have a rule. You just kind of, okay, so A. So, okay, I'm going to use this one again. Okay, point A over here is 6, 8. So from this line, it is 4 spaces away to the right. So now A prime is going to be 4 spaces to the left. So over here. A prime. Okay, and then B. Point B is 2 spaces to the right away from the line. So B prime is going to be 2 spaces to the left away from the line. And this is B prime. C prime. C prime is 6 spaces away from the line. So to the right. C prime is going to be 6 spaces to the left. So over here. Okay. Right? Wait, that's wrong. Okay. Okay, so over here. Okay, here. And this is where C prime would be. Okay. And I'm gonna fast forward this part again. Okay. And that is basically it. So not that hard. You just count the spaces and then yeah. Okay, and then now we're gonna head over to dilation. Dilation changes the size of a figure but does not change its shape. It either reduces or enlarges the slice. Okay, so dilation, the pre-image and the image. The image will either be bigger than the pre-image or smaller than the preimage. Or it could just be the same if the scale factor is 1. Okay. So a few examples. Dilate the figure by the scale factor of 2 and by the scale factor of a half. Okay, so this is the figure. Okay, so this is the figure. And then, okay. So here, point A is negative 2, comma 10. And then a prime would be, so it's by a scale factor of 2, right? So it would be negative 4, comma 20. By the scale factor of 2. Basically, a scale factor is you multiply the scale factor by the coordinates. So for point A, we just multiply 2 to negative 2, which would be negative 4. And then 10 times 2 would be 20. And that's how we got A prime is negative 4, comma 20. Okay. And then point B is negative 8, comma 4. And then B prime is going to be, so negative 8 times 2 would be negative 16. 4 times 2 would be 8. Okay. C. Point C is negative 2, comma 4. So that would be C prime. And then that would be negative 4, comma 8. Okay. So those are our points for scale factor of 2. And now let's graph it. Okay, so A prime is negative 4, comma 20. Okay, so there is no 20 on this grid. So we're just going to make it. Okay, so here it's 19. We're going to say here it's 20. Okay, here it's 20. Okay, so negative 4, comma 20 would be over here. So this is A prime. Okay, and then B prime is negative 16. Okay, so there is no negative 16 here either. So there's going to be negative 15. This is going to be negative 16. Okay, so negative 16, comma 8, which would be over here. And then this is B prime. C prime is a negative 4, comma 8, which is over here. And that is C prime. Okay. And then connecting the points. Okay. And that is the figure that we get when we dilate the figure by a scale factor of 2. Okay. Now when we're dilating by a scale factor of a half. Okay. So A. Okay, I don't like this color. So, okay. Okay. Again. A negative 2, comma 10. Okay, I apologize for the bad handwriting again. Okay, A prime is gonna be, so it's by a scale factor of a half. So negative 2 times a half would be negative 1. 10 times a half would be 5. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna just write that again. Negative, okay. So we can see here, when you dilate by a scale factor of a 2, that if it's not a fraction, then that means you're enlarging the figure. If you're dilating by a scale factor of a fraction, then that means you're reducing the figure. Okay. Okay, so, and then here we're going to do B prime. figure out the point B prime. So point B was negative 8 comma 4. That becomes, so B prime. So negative 8 divided by 2, or times a half, would be negative 4. 4 times a half would be 2. Last point, C. C is negative 2 comma 4. And C prime would be, so negative 2 times a half would be negative 1. 4 times a half would be 2. Okay. Okay, now let's just plot that. So A prime is negative 1 comma 5, so over here. B prime is negative 4 comma 2, over here. C prime is negative 1 comma 2, so over here. So this is the C prime, this is A prime, this is B prime. Okay, so this one, I'm not going to get a ruler, I'm just going to freehand it. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so that's what the figure would look like when we dilate. Okay, and that is it for today's video. Basically, a little summary is that reflection is that you flip the image. Dilation is when you just multiply the coordinates by the scale factor. Okay, so that's it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye!